Hello and welcome back to Potty Mouth, the show where the jokes are dirty and our minds are dirtier. I'm Aaron, this is Blake.
Hey, you do it.
And today on the Potty Cast, we are talking about privacy. All about it. Private sex. Do you need privacy? Do you want privacy? We don't get any, so it's okay. Anyway, moving. But another fun fact, welcome to February. It was actually last episode, but you know, February. Spring's coming, it's getting warmer. I got the little birds over there, right here. Got the birds right there. Pretty little bluebird, kind of. It's blue, it's bird, whatever. But yeah, I'm excited for spring. I want spring to be here. I've been going to warm places because I don't want to be, well, for those of you out west, it doesn't really matter, or down south, I guess, but we're in the Midwest and it's cold as fuck. So,
Always is.
yeah, unfortunately. Although the last summer was freaking hot.
Yes.
Yeah, we had like 110 degree day. And then again, once again, in California, it gets like 110, whatever. You know what?
They're laughing at us.
We're just complaining. We're a bunch of little pansies. Anyway, let's get into the topic at hand. Privacy. But I kind of want to bring up a more obscure part about privacy. Because it actually fits along with Potty Mouth. So do you, and I think this is a guy thing, do you have to have the door closed when you're taking a poop? That's a really abrupt question, but
yes.
when you take a poop,
I mean, I don't have to.
if your girl's in the room, do you shut the door?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you get upset if she opens the door?
Depends on who it is.
Your girlfriend.
Oh, then no.
Oh man, I get upset.
I'm like, I mean, if you really want to be in here during this.
I need privacy. So I can't have anyone. If I'm pooping, I need the door shut or at least cracked, and you cannot be because then I feel like I'm being watched. I don't care if you watch me pee, I don't give a crap. But if I'm pooping, if I'm dropping one, dropping off a load, you know what I'm saying? I need
taking the Browns to Super Bowl.
Yeah, I need some privacy. I need my space. I don't know.
I really don't give a shit.
No pun intended. I don't know, man. I just I have to have that privacy. But then again, because I'm not a very private person otherwise. I don't really care. I'll tell you whatever you want. I'll answer any question you got. That's who I am. But I when it comes to maybe it's just I feel vulnerable.
I mean,
I'm because you're incredibly vulnerable in that position. It's I just feel although you had to poop on camera for all of our watchers to see, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's whatever.
You guys can't see that now unless you want to subscribe to the official Aaron Shields YouTube channel, or excuse me, the official Aaron Shields Instagram page, where I post all of the behind the scenes about Potty Mouth as well as fun little challenges that we do here on the show. So future reference, official Aaron Shields. Shameless plug. I don't know. It's whatever, right?
It was a shitty situation.
Ha ha ha. Funny times. Anyway, what are some things that you have to have private in your life?
Sex.
Sex has to be private.
Yep.
So no public sex.
I mean, I do, but I don't want anyone seeing.
Okay. Wait. So it's not, you want privacy?
I do want privacy. But, I mean, I've had sex in the car.
Oh, okay. Tinted windows, though?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Is it dark?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I was you gotta have something if you want privacy. Which, by the way, if you watched the last episode, with the historic episode, sorry. We spent 15 minutes on a word sadomasochism, and he still can't say it. I'm not gonna make him try. But it actually brings up a funny point because we talked about public sex in that episode. So if you want to watch us just be idiots for 15 minutes, go and watch that episode. And we'll wait for you. Okay. So in the episode we talked about how it was very traditional for people to have the Puritans to have sex in public. It was a very common thing. Woods, outhouses, anywhere. I mean, it was pretty much a common thing.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to bring up a point then that I forgot, but I'm going to bring it up now, is that, did you know that a long time ago, I think it was before even the Puritan era, is that families, parents would have sex in front of their kids.
What?
Because they didn't have room. Like, they didn't have extra rooms. It was just one big room. So there was no privacy. So if you wanted sex, you just kind of had to do it. And the kids would just do their own thing.
Wow.
Could you imagine having sex in front of your kids? You don't have kids, but like, could you imagine having sex in front of your kids?
No, not at all.
And like knowingly doing it?
I'm thinking back when I was a kid. Like, no. Hell no.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, but then that brings up the other point is like when did we become because I mean it's all through culture, it's through history where it's like people really didn't care. Like, it wasn't a big deal. You had sex in public in front of people with people in the room. It wasn't a thing.
I mean, did he just like high five his son afterwards? Yeah.
Daddy got laid. That's messed up. But yeah, like, when did we become a private society? Because not even sexually, we demand a privacy.
Yeah.
Like, as a society, like, everyone's kind of private. Like, you have people that are very closed off about their homes or about their property or about their personal lives. And I have a thing that I wanted to pose, a question I want to pose to you, because do you think privacy has become more of a necessity due to the fact that so much is not private anymore?
Yes.
Okay, you want to... I mean, help me out, brother. Come on.
Yeah, I would say yes because of the fact that like, it's kind of like one of those, like, if you don't have it, or if you're wanting it but you don't have it, you're gonna seek it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's like, but now that like, so with social media today and everything like that, there's not a whole lot out there that can be very private.
Not really, yeah. I mean,
now you're finding other ways to, instead of like getting yourself out there, it's the exact opposite. You're trying to find ways to keep yourself contained.
Right. It's true. I mean, I think I feel the same way, and I wanted to see what your take on it was, because like your entire life is on like a internet. Like, basically, like, people post all the time about like what they're doing, where they're going.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's a big deal. Like, a lot of their lives are posted all over social media. And I think that's why we become such a private species. Like, we didn't used to be, we didn't really care. And then now it's like, I think because there's so much that is like is public knowledge now. Like, us, for instance, being on this show, we're not famous. We don't really have that big of a following yet. But, you know, it's growing, and that's a good thing. But even us, like, we don't really have a lot of privacy. Like, our entire lives are kind of poured out on this show.
Definitely.
Like, we talk about very personal things and very private matters for your entertainment, which is absolutely fine. We've both agreed to do that. But there are aspects of my life that I want to keep private because I'm giving so much on the show.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of why sex has kind of become a very private thing, because it's like nothing else really is anymore.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, to me, the way I view sex is more of like, that's your time that you are vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's your time that you're vulnerable with your spouse. You're vulnerable with your partner.
You're at your most intimate.
Yeah. Yeah. But, like, that's the time that you're sharing something that you don't want to share with anyone else.
Sure.
So to me, I'm like, I'm not downing anyone who wants to like do the orgies and crap like that. But to me, I'm like, no, I was like, this is something very sacred to me.
Right.
You know, I was like, if I'm going to have sex with someone, it's going to be with someone that I truly care about, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, that kind of goes back into that whole, like, you're very emotionally driven when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
You have to have that emotional connection, whereas, like, some people can just, like, hit it and quit it, for lack of a better term.
And not even think about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's interesting to look at it that way. I don't know. It's interesting because how much society has evolved.
Yeah.
As far as, like, what's private now and what's not, I guess. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. I am not your average person. That's for sure.
No, that's true. That's kind of why I'm diving into your psyche a little bit. But yeah, so I don't know. It's weird. So, like, What other aspects of your life besides sex do you think would need to be private, or something that you want to be private?
Family life.
Your home life?
Yeah. Like, there's a lot of things I don't tell people. Like, with family or, just things that are going on with my family.
Yeah.
Or just my personal life in general. I mean, I don't really share a whole
I'm very
lot.
aware of the personal life. Yeah, well, I mean, she's still, like, even though, like, we hang out, we still, like, he'll say something that happened, I'm like, wait, we talked about this. What are you talking about? But yeah, it's interesting because you do have a very, like, you kind of hold things close to the vest, unless, like, they're brought up, and then you're like, you're an open book, but you keep things close to the vest.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense at all. And what I mean by that is, so guys, Blake kind of, like, he'll talk about anything with you, and he'll share anything. He's an open book if you ask the right questions, but you're not the kind of guy that offers it.
Definitely not.
Yeah, so, like, if you ask, you'll tell, but it's not like if you don't ask the right question that deems that answer, you're not going to get it.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty much. It's what I've kind of learned is, like, if I want a specific answer from Blake, I have to really key in on what I'm saying, which usually I can lead you there, but
You're usually pretty good about that.
it's what I do. It's what it's what I'm here for. So family life has to be private for you.
Yes.
Or
I cannot stand people posting all the time or just, I don't know. It's like if there was something that I didn't mind other people knowing, then I would have no problem posting it myself.
Right.
If I don't post it, I don't expect any of my family members to post it.
Okay.
Like, I get pissed. Like, with certain things, like
Example.
Okay, for example, if one of my family members goes to the hospital, I don't want people knowing about that. For one, I don't want anyone feeling sorry for me or my family.
Right.
Two, that's none of anyone else's business.
Okay.
I mean, like, if you want to say something like, oh, send prayers or whatnot, that's fine. Don't be specific about it. You can say, hey, appreciate prayers for my family.
Right.
Something in that nature, but don't
say, hey, my uncle's in the hospital with this and blah, 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 and any prayers would be appreciated.
Yeah.
Just be general.
Yeah.
Interesting. See, I feel like, because I'm like an empathetic person, so, like, I have to understand the situation because I want to be on the level that you're at, or, like, whoever I'm dealing with.
Sure.
And so, like, I kind of want, I always ask, and even with you, I always ask you more information. I don't know if you want to share it sometimes, but, like, that's who I am. I want to care, so, like, I always ask a little bit more. That way I'm like, all right, I'm on your level. Like, I'll check in with you, blah, 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 blah.
Well, I know your heart's in the right place.
True, yeah.
And I can trust you.
Right.
There's a lot of people out there I can't trust.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So, I pick and choose.
Who you kind of share information with.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, I don't blame you, but that kind of poses the question: is why don't we open up more? Why is everything so secretive? Why is everything so private? And everyone kind of has their own, stance on it as far as, like, where they sit on that bubble. But why do you think, like, people in general kind of why do you think people are untrustworthy?
I would think leverage.
Okay, explain.
So, like, certain people, I don't know, things that happen in their lives or whatnot, like, maybe they don't want to be judged in a certain way, or they feel like their past might come back to haunt them. In the fact of, like, let's say they post something about, like, whatever happened on this day, 5 years down the road, they've completely turned their life around. Well, somebody could go back to that post, depending on what it is.
Kind of what happened with all that Twitter thing, where, like, people were just, like, pulling up tweets from, like, 5 years ago on these celebrities and destroying their careers.
Yeah.
And they've said sorry, like, they've apologized, but then, like, it's too late. Like, people have already
Yeah, like it's stupid.
Oh yeah, I know I agree, but we're kind of going on a tangent and rabbit hole, but it is a good point because like I think people are so because here's the deal, here's the problem: a small majority of people are the haters, and it ruins it for everyone. Because the majority of people are good, whether you choose to believe it or not. The majority of people are good. People care. People are nice, and they're trustworthy. But there's the small, selective few that want to just see the world burn. For instance, on this video, guarantee we look in the comments, there's going to be some haters. There's going to be some dislikes on the video, and that's absolutely fine because you're still watching the video and we're still making money, so fuck you.
Bring on the haters. 'Cause I don't give two shits.
Exactly, right? So it's like you have to find the positive side and everything, but it's like those people ruin it for everybody because they become less trustworthy because they know what types of people are out there.
Yep.
And I think that it kind of comes in the privacy side of things too, is because used to, like, nobody cared. It wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean? And it took a while to get information from one place to another. So it didn't travel as quickly as like a second, where like online you post something, it's everywhere.
Right.
But I think that kind of changed the way people think, because it's like, okay, if I say this or do this or whatever, it can get out and it's everywhere. Versus back then, it was like, oh, it's fine. You know what I mean? Because what's it gonna do? Go down the street? Ooh, like. So I think it's a different mentality. I think that since everything is public, I think we cling to the moments that we can have privacy.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I think that's just it's sad, but I don't hate it because I enjoy my privacy.
As do I.
Because so much of our lives is public and public knowledge. It's like, because I mean, you can get on my Instagram, it's public, so you can check out anything that's posted there. You can get on my Twitter, anything's free. You can go to our website, like there's about us, there's about the show. You can come watch this show and literally learn almost everything about us. Like, so there's not a lot of privacy in our lives.
Right.
So it's like when we do have those moments of privacy, it's treasured. It's cherished.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And it's funny because I don't think it would have been that way, 30, 40 years ago.
Probably not.
People also trusted more, trusted easier, trusted more easily.
A handshake actually went somewhere. It actually meant something.
What do you mean?
So it kind of goes into the fact that, like, there's not a lot. I mean, there is, but there's not a lot of what would the word be? Chivalry.
Yeah.
Words. But like, yeah. Anyways, so like, back then, you could just make an agreement with someone, like contracts, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, and it's like it was by your word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't go by someone's word anymore.
Back then, your word meant something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the words I'm looking for.
There we go. I got them. I hope I'm out. It's all right.
Words are hard. It's okay.
But yeah, so do you think like words aren't enough anymore is kind of where people have kind of gone. And do you think it's because of selfishness or greed, or do you think that too many people started screwing over too many other people and it just kind of spread like a disease, or
something like that? I feel like it just kind of like compounded over time. And it's kind of like, well, if you're not going to do that, it's like, if you're not going to stay to your word, why would I stay to my word?
And then that person screws over another person, and then another person screws over another person, and it's just like a really, really messed up game of dominoes.
Yep.
I never really looked at it that way, I guess. I've always just kind of thought that, like, I guess I did kind of think that. I don't know. It's interesting.
But that's why you have, like, all this paperwork always drawn up and all this kind of crap because of, well, it's like just to protect my butt, I'm going to have you sign this document saying you're going to do this.
Yeah, I mean, for everybody that has ever worked with us, for us, they've always signed an NDA.
Yeah, but it's...
Well, they've signed 5 or 6 pieces of paper. saying that we're allowed to be. So basically, like if you've been a guest on this show, which is only one guest, but or even before Blake came on the show, like there was NDA, and you had to sign a video release and an audio release, and you had to file out a contract for what you were going to do, how long you were going to do it, and all that kind of stuff, saying that you couldn't take the idea and run with it, or blah, 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 blah. And it's like so much legality just to protect the concept that is Potty Mouth. And to protect the show itself, because you automatically go into a transaction knowing that you can't trust that person.
Yeah, because like everyone's out to protect themselves now.
Everyone's out for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody, but I mean,
in a business world.
Yeah, it's like the majority of people is like, if I'm not going to get what I need, it's like, why would I do
in a business world, it's dog eat dog.
Yeah.
Like, it's me before you at the end of the day. Like, that's how businesses work. That's not how this business works. But it kind of does, because in the entertainment industry, like not personally within the company, but in the entertainment industry that we're in the YouTube, Spotify, whatever, like we want to be on top. Like we want to be on the top charts. We want to be on trending. Like, so it's not to say that, man, it's so hard.
Well, it's kind of like politics.
Kind of.
I mean, because, okay, I can always tell when there's an election coming up because there will always be commercials bashing the opponent.
Yeah. Well, and I think, like, the thing is, like, I think it's just because we don't, it's a dog, like I said, it goes back to the dog eat dog. Like, everyone is for themselves in a business because everyone wants a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
And so it's like, we want to be on top. We want to be, trending. We want to be recommended and blah, 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 and whatever. And we're just trying to get to that point. But then again, like, so is, like 100 million other people. That's a very small number, but like a shit ton of people want to be where we are. And there are people that are ahead of us. So like, this is a very small, like, operation we have going here compared to some of the bigger, more well-known YouTubers.
Yeah.
But then there are people that are YouTubers that are below us. So it's, as far as an operation, and to be honest, like, it's a show, so we kind of have a little more production, I think, set up. But like, once again, it's improving. It's always like, we're always like, how can we make the show better? How can we make the content better? How can we make the audio better? How can we make the video better?
Yeah.
The lighting. What should we do this week, and blah, 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 just to make it better and better and better. And everybody else is behind us doing the exact same thing because they want to be where we are. We want to be where the other people are. And it's like, we're all just fighting for the top.
Same with sports. Same with anything.
Yeah.
Really.
But anyway, privacy. That was the longest rabbit trail we have ever had.
Well, think about it this way. It goes right into privacy, though.
How so?
Because that can provide leverage for opponents.
What do you mean?
So if you do not have privacy...
Oh, sure. I mean, yeah,
they're going to know a crap ton about you.
Basically, if you show your hand.
Yep.
Yeah. If you show your hand before it's dealt, you're already lost, or whatever.
Exactly.
Whatever the saying is. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, because, like, we can't tell how people, like, how this operates, because then people would, well, no offense, but people would copy it.
Exactly.
And then, they would get a gist of how to do it, and then we'd have competition.
Yep.
And we've already got competition. We don't need more.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it makes sense. Don't show your cards. Like,
you can show some things, but not the... Yeah.
So, yeah, and when it comes to privacy, like, operating a business, like, you've got to keep things private. Like, if you have things on... Like, we have... I can't say this, but it's not going to be specific. We have four projects? 4 separate projects other than the show, right? I think
yep.
3 or 4. Four separate projects that we're working on other than this show that we don't talk about. You can't find it anywhere. You can't find it on social media. You can't find it on the channel. You can't find it on our website. And you won't know about it until it's being produced and you see some behind the scenes. Like, it's very...
Nowhere.
It's just because then, like, if one person hears about it, it could be gone.
It's like, ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
and they
and
start it
then-
right away before we can even get it out.
before we can even get it off like the idea floor.
Yeah.
So, and not saying that someone's going to come in and steal our ideas, but you have to kind of have that mentality. It's like you have to be the first one to do it. So don't talk about how it's done. So that's why like some of it seems private and some of it seems public. It's because our lives are public on this show. That's kind of how it works. But yeah, I agree. It needs to, like, there are a lot of things that need to be private.
Yep.
And just because that's the way that society has kind of gone, that's the way it's kind of decided how it's going to run. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
It's unfortunate, but that's how life is now, apparently.
that's how society works. That's how the cookie crumbles, my friend.
I was going to say that.
What's that off of?
Bruce Almighty?
Yeah, that's what that's off of. I was like, why? Were you really going to say that same thing?
Yeah, I was like, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Are you drunk?
No.
You totally just slurred your word. You're like, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Ah.
No, but next
Forget
episode,
you, man.
next episode will be hammered. So don't miss out on that. But anyway,
Any Hoosers.
privacy.
Privacy. Private parts.
What?
I don't know.
I mean, you should keep your private parts private
Which is why they're called private parts.
and private. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. What are we saying?
Snapchat.
I wonder what if Snapchat should be private. There are some things on Snapchat that just need to be private.
Did you know on Snapchat? So, you know, like on Snapchat, if you took a screenshot,
Mm-hmm.
like it tells the other person.
Yes.
Apparently, there's a way you can screenshot it now that it doesn't.
Oh, yeah. It's like a glitch or whatever behind it.
Apparently.
How? How do you know that? How'd you hear about it?
One of my friends told me about it. They didn't show me, though. I was like, well, why not?
Somebody sends you a pic of titties and you're like, how can I screenshot this? And they're like, well, here, I'll tell you how.
No, they were just talking about it one day because, like, even on Snapchat, like, there is no privacy on that. It's like, whoever invented Snapchat, come on. They could find that stuff.
I mean, they could figure it out, but like,
people can find that stuff.
but it is kind of private. I mean, like, you only see it, unless you screenshot it and save it, you only see it once.
People can find that stuff.
Maybe. Depends on the algorithm on how Snapchat actually works, whether it deletes it immediately, because sometimes they have scrubbers, and so like whatever's on the server, they'll scrub it. And that's why it's only like you can only see it for a short amount of time. Because they have scrubbers that will literally delete it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
a damn thing about
Snapchat could
electronics.
literally just be scrubbing everything, but I don't actually know how that. I don't know how Snapchat works. I just know that I see a picture of titties, it goes away, and I can't see it again. So, my wife. I mean, I'm whatever. You know what I'm saying. Speaking of titties, have you gotten any titty pics on Snapchat recently?
No, I don't even ask for them.
Yeah. But, okay, just because you don't ask for titties doesn't mean you don't get titties sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've never just pulled up Snapchat and got a picture of titties.
Nope.
Oh man, you were missing out.
I don't really want them sending me stuff.
You don't want pictures of titties? Why?
Nope. I never got into that.
Poor Blake.
Never have. Hey, you know what? If I want to see them, I'll go in person.
I mean, fair enough, but you don't want to get yourself hyped up and excited for it first?
No.
Titties should be kept public to a degree. Let the nipples free, man. Why can guys go out and shirtless, but girls can't? It's the exact same thing, but they just have a little more fat pouch on their boobie. Like, that's what it is. It's a sack of fat. It's a pretty beautiful sack of fat.
I was gonna say we really like the sack of fat.
But like,
sack of fat.
they're basically. Have you ever seen man titties? Have you ever seen man titties at a bra and then at a bra? Have you ever seen man titties at a pool and wish that sucker put on a bra? Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, we need to put this needs to be a thing.
We need to put an end to this.
We need to put an end to this. Either free the nipples or cover the man titties. Like, that's
Or both.
free the nipples and then cover the man titties? But then they're still not equal.
Pretty equal to me.
But then what if someone walked up to you and said, you need to put one of these on?
Wait, you know what? At that point, I'd probably be agreeing with them.
I mean, you don't have titties, though. But what if someone, like, the way you are right now, you don't have titties, but someone walked up to you and said, here, put this on. Your nipples are blah, 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 blah. They're disgusting. Why are you doing this in public? So messed up. Free your nipples, girls. Put on the pasties. Do whatever you want to do. You got this. But also, like, keep your nudes private. That's what I was trying to say. That's what I was trying to say. Keep your nudes private, ladies, unless you're sending them to your boyfriend or just a random guy you want to hook up with. Then, by all means, do whatever you like. Do you. Send nudes. Put them on Snapchat and send them to everybody in your contact list, including your grandma. You go for it and live your best fucking life. With that being said, that's all for this episode of Potty Mouth. Make sure to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, or watch it here on YouTube. If you're watching it here on YouTube, make sure to like this video so we can keep bringing you fun, silly content like this. With that being said, that's all for this episode of Potty Mouth, and we will see you next time on the Potty Cast.